Take a little sip of my drink here in my Nuka-Cola glass. Okay. Hello, hi. This is part one of the almostADORNO lecture series on running silos. Getting past the grid. If you didn't watch the first video, episode 0, it kind of was the preface, right, telling you what this stuff was about. Each video in this playlist is going to cover a specific part of the silo running process. So you can kind of pick and choose which ones you need help with, which ones you're interested in, without having to sit through, like, a 45-minute video. The idea here is that you're going to get it quick and dirty the way I do it, which is not the only way, which is not the best way. It's just the way I prefer. And be able to kind of skip around and get some tips and stuff like that. Whether you're new to running silos or, you just want to learn something new and maybe run it a little bit faster. Okay, so we're in the silo. We're here, we're ready to go, right? So the first thing you have to do is find your way past the laser grid. You have to get past this. This will not let you pass unless the server is bugged, but that's a whole nother story. We're going to assume it isn't. The way I do this is fairly straightforward. So the first step is finding a blue biometric keycard. That biometric keycard allows you to progress through the silo, through the laser grid into the heart of the silo. And they are scattered throughout this first floor. There's none in this room, but in every other subsequent room you can find a keycard. The route I choose to take puts you in the line of sight of at least 15. So you are bound to find one taking this path. So I exit the elevator, I go out into the hall, and I go straight across into the bunks. Boom. Immediately, old biometric keycard is exactly what we're looking for. If that one is not there, one spawns here underneath this pillow, and one spawns right there. So without leaving the first room on this run, 2 of the 3 spawns were here. So after you find it, what then? Well, we're going to continue on the path because this route will take you right to the next step after you find the card, right? You continue forward into the gym. The gym also has 3 spawn points. 4, actually, I think, for the biometric card. One spawns right here underneath the 80-pound crowbar. Another spawns in this area. Sometimes it's on the floor. I think it can be on top of the radio, but I don't see it there very often. And then one spawns right here. Again, we've come across 6 cards and we found 3 so far, right? You're gonna find it. So regardless of the one that you pick up, whether it's in that room or this room, once you find that card, regardless of which room it is in, you will continue out this door to the left and go straight into the scanning bay area. This room also has 3 cards that you can potentially find. Look at that, another one right there. One right there. One can spawn back here on that, and one can potentially spawn right there. So, by now, there is almost 100% chance that you will have the biometric keycard that you need to proceed. So, you have it, you are in this room, you need to scan yourself in the biometric scanner. You've scanned yourself, that's part 2 of this process. You get the card, then you scan yourself. After you scan yourself, you have to fabricate the biometric card so it will register in the computer system. Okay, so you've been scanned, so now what? Well, we retrace our steps. We go right back the way we came, through the gym, through the bunks. We see the elevators in which we came through, we make a hard left. If by now you've made it to the scanning room and you still don't have a card, this room has them as well. One can spawn right there, which it is. One often spawns right here, and one spawns obviously right there. Okay? There it is. It would be insane. And, the outlier if you did not have a card by now. And to be clear, You do not need to have the card to go into the biometric scanner. If you don't have one by the time you get scanned, it's fine. Still follow that path. Still follow that path and scan yourself and then come back through, and then you'll likely find one in here. We'll talk about what to do if you still haven't found one by the time we get to this part. Okay? So, you have your card, you're scanned, you're back in the fabrication room. You need to erase the biometric card. Okay? As you can see in the top left-hand corner of the screen, old card has been removed, new card has been added. Now we talk to the system terminal, and we go down to fabricate. Second option. Click it. Data removed, ID card added, it went through. Sometimes you'll get an error on this screen, and it'll say, hey, nothing happened, didn't work, blah, 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 blah. If the server's bad, that's not uncommon. Just hit tab, go back to fabricate, blah, 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 blah. That's what it'll look like if it doesn't take, right? Just hit tab and go back and do it again. Often I've seen new players be like, man, or new silo runners be like, man, I have to go get the card and all that stuff again. No, it's just the server just didn't take, that's all. There wasn't an error. It was a server error. You did everything proper. So just hit tab and fabricate it again and you're good. So you've done that. Now what? Turn around, literally make a 180, go down the hall. You see the porta diner. Don't go into the mess hall. Make a hard left. And scan the ID registration system. This often will have a waypoint telling you to speak to the computer terminal. There is no reason to unless you're interested in the lore, which we are not in this case. You scan this. And now you've done it. You are through the grid. That's it. Super simple. Super simple. Right? Doing it at full speed, you know, it looks something like this, and it takes less than a minute, right? You come out here, you run, check, check, check. You can see it all, you can see it all. You can see it, you can see it. You can look over there, see it. Here, obviously, see it, see it, see it. You know where they spawn, you're looking. Scan yourself. Still don't have a card. Say we still don't have a card. Pretend we still don't have a card. Scanned ourselves. We run back through the rooms the way we came. Come in here. Still don't have a card. I know we do, but you know, still don't have a card. We're pretending that we don't have a card. Right? So we made it here. Scan. Boom, boom, boom. Well, we can't do that because we don't have a card. And you know, come back here, over here, and boom. Scan it, and then you can go through the grid. So it takes less than a minute at full speed if the server's good. Now, if you get to this room, the contingency, right? Because sometimes it happens. You might get to this room and you may not have found a card yet. Even if you look in those spots that I showed you, you may not find a card. If that happens, right, this is what you want to do. You've come here, no cards here. What am I going to do? The easiest thing to do without getting lost, is exit this room and go to the mess hall. There will be cards in here. They can spawn on this table. They can spawn over here. They can spawn on these shelves. One right there, obviously. One right there, obviously, right? This is one of the last spots they can spawn in, right? There are some other ones, but now you're getting a little crazy, and it'll be easier for you to get lost if you're not sure where you're going. If you make it all the way to the fabrication room and you don't have a card, do a 180 and come into the mess hall, and almost without fail, this is where your cards will be. So, that's a contingency, right? Then you just, obviously, you come back, you do the same thing, erase, fabricate, swipe, and go. That's it. Altogether, if you know where to look and you can get through it, you know, dealing with mobs and stuff like that, you have a couple pieces of troubleshooter's gear or something, you can probably get through this first part in 2 or 3 minutes as somebody who's never done it before. If you know, it's just a matter of knowing where to look. That's the grids. Super easy, super straightforward. Hopefully you found it helpful. Let the playlist roll and you'll get the second part, which is doing the pipes. This is a pipes video, so we're not going to talk about hack pick, but how to get through the pipe room. Coming up next. Thanks for checking us out. Now, I'll be 100% honest with you. I do not know why you are doing this stuff. I don't know the lore behind it. I'm not interested in lore. It's not what I do. I'm sure somebody can explain it to you. But these are just the steps. Why we're doing the things we're doing, I don't really know.